Nicola Bully, lovingly known as Nikki by friends and family, is a 45-year-old mortgage advisor and mother of two from St Michael's, Lancashire. She's been missing since Friday the 27th of January 2023 after dropping her children off at school at approximately 8:40 a.m. Leaving the car, 3 minutes later, she is on the footpath towards fields and the River Wyre, where she was taking the dog, a Springer Spaniel named Willow, for a morning walk. At 8:47, she bumps into a fellow dog walker on the lower field, seen here with the red jacket. They spoke briefly, then the lady leaves the fields using the river path. At 8:53, Nikki sends an email to her boss. 9:01, she logs into a conference call for work. And 9:10 is the last known sighting of Nikki. She was seen on the upper field this time, still with her dog. 9:20, the phone is left on the bench. And at 9:30, the conference call ends. At 9:33, Willow is found by a concerned dog walker wandering around the bench area with no lead, slightly dishevelled but dry. The dog is not wet. The bench where, a few moments later, Nikki's phone is found on the seat, along with Willow's lead and harness, which are on the ground between the river and the bench. The phone is still logged into the conference call, although the mic and camera are switched off. Lancashire Police have been deploying all their resources, including police helicopter, police divers, CCTV, field searches by specialist search dogs, witness statements and dashcam footage, plus partner agencies including Mountain Rescue, HM Coast Guards and Lancashire Fire and Rescue Services. On Friday the 3rd of February, exactly 1 week after Nikki is reported missing, police make a formal statement.
Therefore, the time that we are particularly interested in is between 9:10, the last confirmed sighting, and at 9:20, when Nicola's phone was found on the bench. Sorry, not found on the bench, when Nicola's phone was on the bench, believed to be on the bench, found at around 9:33. The witness made numerous inquiries to try and find the owner of the phone, not knowing whose phone it was, and indeed whose dog it was. That led the witness to meet up with other people who did recognise the dog as Nicola's, and the school to which Nicola's children go was alerted at 10:50, as was her family. This means that we've only a 10-minute window in which we cannot account for Nicola's movements. The inquiry team has undertaken a number, as I said, of dashcam, CCTV and ring doorbell footages. This has allowed us to eliminate any trace so far of Nicola having left the riverside, which is really important. So we believe that Nicola was in the riverside area and remained in the riverside area. We remain open to any inquiries that might lead us to question that, but at this time we understand that she was by the river. Our main working hypothesis, therefore, is that Nicola has sadly fallen into the river, that there is no third party or criminal involvement, and that this is not suspicious, but a tragic case of a missing person. This is particularly important because speculation otherwise can be really distressing for the family and for Nicola's children.
Nikki's friend Emma White didn't agree with the police conclusion, and she does have a point.
We keep calling her Nicola. You knew her as Nikki, of course.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, I'm interested in your thoughts after that update from police yesterday. When you heard what the police had to say, what went through your mind?
Let's just take you back to yesterday. So yesterday was a 7-day milestone. It was a roller coaster in itself. You wake up, still no news. Okay, we'd already planned the 7 days, a big media publicity. We were out there with the banners. So then to hear just in the afternoon that had driven awareness, influx of calls, that hope was ignited. I couldn't tell you the feeling like something's got to come of all this information. We then get the news bulletin, and it comes up with this hypothesis, then that sinking feeling again. And I just wanted to quote, so what we're saying is, what struck a chord, she said the search continues to no avail, and then obviously a hypothesis is unlimited information. And when we're talking about a life, we can't base it on a hypothesis. Surely we need this factual evidence. And like you've just both said, that's what the family and us are all holding on to, that we're actually no further on than sadly last Friday. We still have no evidence, and that's why we're out again in force.
Yeah, I can sense frustration in your voice. Do you feel frustrated?
It's not frustrated, but you don't base life on a hypothesis, do you? You absolutely can have hypotheses, but then you need something to back that hypothesis up to become factual.
Do you think it might almost have been better not to have mentioned that, to have just said we don't have any new information, but we are still appealing for help, we are still appealing for, like they did, dash cam footage and the like, but actually not necessarily saying that is now their theory?
100%, and I think we just said, we talked to the family, they obviously discussed that with the family. We didn't believe it was going to go into a live news bulletin when it is this hypothesis, so yeah.
Yeah, you're great friends with Nikki and Paul. What's Paul saying this morning? Did you have a chance to speak to him after the conference yesterday?
Yeah, as soon as we heard, we said, what's the message? And he was just like, keep going until we find something factual.
And you were here chatting to me yesterday, and you were so buoyed up and so hopeful, because the police had more calls, hadn't they? They had more information through. Did you get any sense of what that information might have been?
No, all I know, it was a significant influx in calls that they had to bring another 101 team in to answer the calls. So when you hear that news coming from the police, you think, oh my, there has to be a glimmer there has to be something coming from that today, just to give a line of inquiry to go on. So when the news bulletin came, I thought, we might have found something that we don't know. And we thank everybody that did come forward. What I would say is we need to keep it to factual information. Like, they could have received 100 calls on, I don't know, that's not relevant to the case. Yeah,
it needs to be a genuine factual information. No, that's a good point. There's been a lot of talk about a tennis ball, and that Willow loved chasing a tennis ball, and perhaps the ball rolled down this very steep bank where we're standing, ended up in the water, and Emma understandably tried to retrieve the ball. Simple as that, as you would do on a dog walk. What do you think about that theory?
Willow used to love a tennis ball very much, but it used to disturb the walk, so they haven't had a tennis ball since way into last year. Obviously a tennis ball, she loved the tennis ball, so she'd always be by you, pestering you for the ball. But it wasn't a nice walk when the dog's pestering, so the ball was definitely no ball.
Okay, well that's really interesting. As a dog owner, I know how annoying it can be having dogs obsessing over balls. So you don't think there would have been a ball?
No.
Okay, and finally, what is your message today to people watching this who will share your anguish? They'll share the family's anguish and their desperation that perhaps things are narrowing down now in terms of getting Nikki back. What's your message?
Again, yesterday they said they haven't explored all the avenues. We've got footage missing from Garstang Road, which is just outside of the river, where you come into the gate for the walk. So we're appealing again for anybody that has the dash cam footage, any information on that. Then when we've explored that avenue, then hopefully the police can piece a bit more of the picture together. I know people will be coming out in the force today. We've had message after message, and we thank you. We've got routes set up for people to do today. We've actually overnight got, I think you've already shared it, we've got this 10-foot illuminated box that actually drove from Blackpool to Preston last night. It's going to be driving around. It's going to be prominently in St Michael's today, just to raise that awareness. And if someone can just shed a little bit of light to give us some evidence, that's all we're asking.
And it's just a simple phone call, isn't it?
A simple phone call. Yeah. And nothing's too small, but then again, don't clog the lines with trivia. No. And for you, you're not ruling anything out? Not ruling anything out, no. And we have to. I've always said, my children, Nikki's children, we've got to carry that hope. But until we find something, we can't go and tell them we have a hypothesis.
It's going to be tough for the little girls this weekend, isn't it?
Very, very much so, and we've all been about the routine, so they're going to the clubs and doing what we normally do on a Saturday and just keeping them occupied.
Nikki's partner, Paul, had this to say.
I don't really have anything to say other than what the family said yesterday. My whole focus is my 2 girls, just staying as strong as I can for them. I'm scared that if I put any focus into anything else, it's going to take my, focus off that. So I've got to be very careful. Just hoping to goodness that anything comes out from the interview yesterday, no matter how tiny. Just say a massive thank you to the community, friends, for everything that they're doing. It's absolutely incredible. I just can't believe that we're a week on, and as yet it seems like we're no further on. It just seems absolutely impossible. Just like a dream. Just cannot get my head around any of it.
I mean, you're left sort of trying to make sense of the census, aren't you? It is just such a mystery.
Yeah, it is. There's just no every single scenario comes to a brick wall, every single one of them, and then all we're doing is sitting there going round and round and round, going through every scenario, and then go back to the first scenario again and do the whole thing again, and it's just all day long. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing.
How are you coping? It must be so difficult. Like you say, your focus is on the girls, and it has to be. But yeah. It must be so difficult.
I don't know how I'm coping. I don't even want to actually think about that. Just focus. Just like I say, it's just about the girls. That's it. I'm there for them. I don't want to really elaborate on that. I don't want to take my eye off that.
It must be heartwarming to see the public response. I mean, hundreds of people trying to help.
It's amazing. It is. Right now, it's the only thing that we can take is, that level of support is out of this world. It gives us a great amount of comfort knowing that that's going on. They don't have anything else, do we?
Well, there's hope.
We're never ever going to lose the hope. Of course we're not. But right now, it is as though she has vanished into thin air. Just insane.
Her parents, Ernest and Dot, along with sister Louise, said this.
It's hard. It's hard. We're such a close-knit family. We are a close-knit family, I'm sorry. But we're such a close-knit family. We do anything for any one of us, and the children would do the same for us. We're getting on in life. We talk to each other, both our children, Louise and Nicola, and the children every day. There's not a day goes by without talking to them. And this has just emptied our lives at the minute. We just feel so empty.
I just can't, if I'm being honest, it feels like I'm just stuck in a nightmare. We're going round and round in circles trying to piece together what could have possibly happened. And we've just got to keep such an open mind with everything because we just have no idea where she is. It's like she's just vanished into thin air. There's no evidence to point us in any direction. Obviously, my hope is that she's still out there. Something's happened and she's, I don't know, needed to take herself off for whatever reason. And we just want her home. We need her home. Her children need her home. It's just absolutely heartbreaking. People don't just vanish into thin air. There's got to be somebody that knows something. And all we are asking, no matter how small or big, if there's anything that you can remember that just doesn't seem right, then please reach out to the police. Please just get in touch and get my sister back. Nikki, if you're bloody out there, just let us know that you're okay. We can sort anything out. We just want you home. We just want you home.
The bench where, a few moments later, Nikki's phone is found on the seat, along with Willow's lead and harness, which are on the ground between the river and the bench. The phone is still logged into the conference call, although the mic and camera are switched off. Tilly Ann, a close friend of the family, has asked and been given permission by Nikki's family to post 11 facts she thinks the public should know on her Facebook page. Miss Ann has also said it is disgusting that she has had to issue this statement to curb online sleuths. Family and friends need these allegations to stop immediately, as it is causing harm and distress. The 11 facts are as follows. 1. Paul and Nikki mostly work from home, which is why he was at home that day. They have CCTV, and there is a reason why Paul has never been a suspect. 2. They both do this walk regularly, and Paul is very well known in the community and very well recognised. 3. The dog never has her harness on for a chunk of that walk. It's removed at the gate at the top field and then put back on at the gate when they leave. 4. They very rarely take the ball out for walks with Willow now because she is very, very protective over the ball and haven't done for a while. 5. Nikki would quite often put her phone on loudspeaker when talking. 6. The dog was found very close to the bench and the harness. The harness was found on the floor, not on the bench. 7. Nikki is an incredibly strong swimmer. 8. Nikki drove to the school and then left the car there and walked to the river. 9. The dog was dry when found. 10. The dog has since been back. 11. There is CCTV at the back of the caravan park. The only camera that isn't working is the one that would have seen everything. Nikki is described as wearing an ankle-length black quilted gillet jacket, a black Engelbert Strauss waist-length coat which was worn underneath the gillet, tight-fitted black jeans, long green walking socks tucked into her jeans, ankle-length green wellies from Next, a necklace and a pale blue Fitbit. The lady seen on CCTV with the pram has came forward and is speaking with police. The pale blue Fitbit Nikki is wearing has been accessed by police. It was last synced on Tuesday and police are trying to gather more data from it at this time.
Well, Jeremy, the police have done a brilliant job so far with the resources they've got. We bring another dive team, the same as the police, because we cover the whole of the southeast for police diving. So we have the same equipment as them. They have a sonar. I think ours is slightly higher frequency than their sonar, but we're all doing the same job and working to one end, really. But we covered large areas of ground today jointly. They searched further down the river. We've been searching another part of the river. But at the moment, there's nothing to see, I'm afraid. Yeah, well, it's a baffling one, Jeremy. I was talking to the police this afternoon, and with the police search advisors, we went to the bench where, Nicola disappeared, where supposedly where a mobile phone was found. And the police divers were on scene that afternoon by the days she went missing. They were in the water searching. The river is not moving fast. And after 24, 25 years of doing this type of work and hundreds of cases, I am totally baffled, because the divers, normally you would expect, put a diver in. People, if they drown, they generally go down where they are. We normally find them within sort of 5 to 10 metres of where they went down, even after a few days. This is the most baffling case I've ever worked on.
This is an ongoing investigation And if you have any information at all, or dashcam footage, no matter how insignificant you may think it is, please call your local UK police on 101, quoting log number 565, or for immediate sightings, please call 999.